The hosts of the Parcec Award nominated Two Gay Geeks podcast that you could hear at tggeeks.com at your leisure because it's on the internet. It's my pleasure to introduce Ben and Keith, everybody. I had a almost Pavlovian reaction to you guys sitting down on the couch because last month it was a little wobbly. It wasn't as stable as it is now, so you guys are reaping the benefits of careful stage prepreration at times. So how are you guys doing this evening?
Good.
Hot?
Yes. Hot. It's still hot.
How hot is it? I didn't mean to put you guys on the spot like that.
It was on the spot.
It's so hot that Hillary Clinton has Bill on a cotton leash. That's how hot it is.
That's a Friday. My brain isn't quite working right now.
Well, we're coming fresh off of a Comic-Con that you guys were working at tirelessly.
All 4 days.
So talk about the life of a podcaster at Comic-Con. It's got to be hectic.
Well, running around, well, in our case, I wouldn't say that we're trying to establish ourselves. I mean, there are people who do know who we are. We were originally attached to Slice of Sci-Fi, which was a Parcec Award-winning podcast for a number of years. And that just kind of imploded, morphed, turned into something else, left us a little homeless as far as podcasts go. So we've been building up Two Gay Geeks for about the past year now, 2 years now.
2 years.
Wow, cool.
So it's a matter of
today's date?
Yeah.
Today's the 10th.
Today's the 10th.
Today's the 10th.
The 17th, I think, is our
that the
official
June
anniversary.
17th?
I think
Oh,
so.
fantastic. Cool.
So yeah, it's just about going, hitting all the exhibitors, passing out our cards and saying, "Oh, that's an interesting product you've got. Do you mind being interviewed?" And then shoving a microphone in their face.
Yeah.
And did you have a great response? Or who were you most starstruck, or who took you aback the most when you had a chance to talk to them?
Probably
Wow.
Larry Nemeczek.
Larry Nemeczek.
We talked to him, Dr. Trek.
Yeah, we
himself,
talked.
so-
We were introduced to him through someone we had previously interviewed, and we just decided to go to a Star Trek panel that he was co-hosting, and we walked right up after the panel's over and said, "Hi, we're Ben and Keith." Said, "Oh, I know who you guys are." And like, "Wow, okay."
He said, "Do you want an interview?"
Well, we told
I
him.
said, "Oh, yes!"
Yeah, we told him that we had our studio set up in our hotel room. He says, "Oh, would you like an interview?" I'm going, yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah, and
Yeah,
he was
nice.
really just.
Now, for folks who might not know who that is, Larry is...
He is referred to as Dr. Trek. He is sort of the foremost authority on all things Trek at this time. He started off simply as a fan.
Yep, he was head of StarTrek.com for a while, and
Oh, is that right?
some other things. He's done a lot with the studios and with official Star Trek people.
As podcasters, you guys know we live in an age now where a casual fan that maybe puts together a fanzine or a website can become a stalwart in the the franchise that they're a fan of. And have you guys experienced that as podcasters?
Well, not in. I wouldn't say in any big major franchise. However, we are really becoming well known in the area of independent creation. That's something we just kind of fell into, and now a lot of people who are independent authors, independent game programmers, independent filmmakers are now all of a sudden finding us, and they're
independent comic artists.
independent comic book artists. Yeah, as we discovered a lot when
Absolutely.
in Cottonwood a few months back. A lot of them are singling us out now, so that we could talk to them, hype their product, do an interview with them. So that's really where I think a lot of people are beginning to take notice of us.
Now, podcasting, of course, we all know it. Is it a lucrative enterprise? Pardon the pun, talking about Star Trek, but is it a lucrative enterprise? Is it more of a passionate hobby?
We have an Amazon Associates account. We have made a whole $2.
$2, everybody! Give it up! Are those dollars framed in your studio?
They haven't paid them yet because it's not enough to send us. It's not enough to even send us a PayPal.
Now, what are people paying for? Subscription or?
No, actually that was from a bounty from a book that was purchased or something. I can't remember
Oh,
what it
okay.
was.
You have the Amazon banner.
Yeah, we have
Right.
Amazon banners on our website, and if someone buys a product through that, we get a tiny bit of a kickback. I mean, a profit.
Sure.
Well, you know.
Well, and that's what I'm asking is a lot of I mean, if you have a smartphone with a voice recorder app, you could produce your own podcast, but you guys have better equipment than that. You guys obviously have talent, a knack for tracking down talented people that you can talk to. So is this a stepping stone to other media, or has podcasting become its own rife media?
That's a good question. We've resisted the temptation to ask people for money just because it's kind of a labor of love at this point, where we have spent a tremendous amount of money over the last 2 years on
luckily
equipment and websites.
We're gainfully employed in our own jobs, so that's not really an issue. Podcasting in of itself, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it profitable. At this time, I don't think we're really looking at it as a stepping stone into something bigger. I mean, it's not like what Chris Hardwick, who's like, the nerdist who I think everybody kind of like genuflects to. I don't think we're looking at something along those lines. I'm just looking for the Two Gay Geeks podcast just to have some kind of respect,
Right.
Because we have a great fascination with pop culture. And that covers a very, very wide gambit, anime, programming, books, television, movies. I mean, we're really into a lot of these things, and it's not like we're trying to like just geek out like Chris Farley used to do on SNL. Just I really like that. Nothing like that. I mean, it's just that we really want to talk to the people and find out what drives them, what are their passions, and how do they get into what it is that they're doing. Because we find that endlessly fascinating.
Were you guys talking about this one evening amongst yourselves and thought we should really just start recording this, or?
We actually, it's as we said, we spun out of Slice of Sci-Fi, which was kind of a syndicated program for a while, and then we just needed something as a creative outlet, and our first show was 12 minutes. And,
wow, okay.
We just read some news.
Very little content.
And then we've morphed into...
My first time was a little shorter than that, so don't worry about it.
It was very scripted.
Also audio recorded.
Oh,
yeah, weird,
is that
but
what you're talking
just
about?
auto record. Just
sorry.
the audio.
I'm sorry.
But we morphed into recently doing a lot of interviews, and our conversational style interviews that we do, everybody has been very happy with, and that's kind of what I think spawned the Parcec nomination.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's talk about that a little bit. The Parcec Award, is that for podcasting?
It is for speculative fiction.
Speculative
podcast.
fiction, okay.
And it's awarded every year at Dragon Con in Atlanta, which is in September.
Wow, so you guys will be going to that?
No.
No, we have something else actually planned for that weekend, that we're actually going to Horrible Imaginings Film Festival in San Diego, and we went last year. We're sponsoring the LGBT block of films at the festival. So we'll be interviewing filmmakers, etc.
So when you win this award, you'll have somebody accept it on your behalf.
Yeah,
most likely.
And will you prepare a list of appreciation? Will you thank, for example, Phoenix Tonight for featuring
absolutely.
you on the
Yes,
top?
we will.
Okay, let me write that down.
PHO.
Russ
Oh, look at Russ. Yeah, Russ.
Yeah, I got a great name for just soaring into fame. But
Well, then I tell you, it's easily identifiable. That's for sure.
that's true. It's like Kazmierczak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can remember that at all. You mentioned doing the LGBT track at the film festival. Have you found that to be a unique niche in your podcast experience? Or is that just more of a personal identity that you bring to it?
We don't. Yeah, we
just
really.
us.
It's just us. We really don't. We don't make that a focus.
Right.
We're just mostly really interested in a lot of the pop culture that's out there. But we have discovered that, especially in horror and horror comedy, there is a great wealth of material that comes from the LGBT community. We've seen some really amazing stuff. Interviewed a number of really, really great filmmakers as a result of it.
Very cool.
And I think that's an untapped potential as far as the film industry goes. So that might become more of a focus later on down the road, depending on how that goes. But at the present time, we're just looking at the horror genre in general.
Sure, cool. Summer films, you guys have a favorite that's come out or one that you're really looking forward to?
Civil War.
Captain America?
Absolutely
Civil War?
love Civil War. You know, I'm a big comic book fanatic, so yeah, I was just completely bananas about that. Seen a few good films. We haven't really been to the cinemas that much. Most of the movies that we've watched recently have been independent.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Independent filmmakers.
Yeah.
Because they want us to talk to them,
Right.
write reviews. So that's been pretty much what we've been watching most of the time these days.
Very cool. And
Yep.
anything?
I just
At the old Cineplex that's captured you or will?
Civil War, I think, has been good at the local film. You know, as independent films, we just did Occupants, the movie,
Oh, yeah.
which was world premiered at Comic-Con, or Phoenix Comic-Con.
Mhm.
Must say that. Phoenix
Phoenix.
Comic-Con.
Phoenix, yeah,
Comic-Con.
because if you just say Comic-Con, they say San Diego.
Yeah.
And have you guys been to San Diego?
Not
We have not.
yet. We might do that next year.
Next year.
Yeah, I think we're finally reaching that point now where we can, we've got the portable equipment to do really good recordings if necessary, or if the opportunity arises. So I think we're now looking at exploring, going outside Arizona, going to other Comic-Cons. I mean, we talked about going to Seattle because they have Emerald City
Emerald
Con.
City, yeah.
So we're looking at these other conventions that I think could prove to be very lucrative in terms of content.
Who is the dream interview? The one person that if you get to talk to them, you're done. We've done it.
You know, I don't think there is a single one. There
No,
are a number.
there's-
I know there are a number of people that I would
Yeah.
love to interview. I don't think there is one that makes me say, okay, I'm done. There's no point in going any further, because
Well, actually, you.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
There we
You
are.
guys have witnessed
Okay.
the end of
There
the
we go.
TG
that's
Geeks
it. That's
podcast.
it. I'm retired.
Well, I want to say thank you guys for being on the show.
Sure.
It was an absolute pleasure to meet you
Thank
at the
you.
Cottonwood Verde Valley Comic Expo.
Yes.
And look forward to chatting with you guys again very soon. Let's plug the podcast, tggeeks.com.
Yes.
Facebook is facebook.com/tggeeks.
Yep.
And you guys are going to LA tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Yes.
we are heading off to catch the world premiere of another independent film, director Monica Demis. She worked under the mentorship of David Lynch.
Ooh.
And she created this most amazing black and white vampire film called Lilith's Awakening.
Yes.
And
Lilith's Awakening.
Lilith's Awakening, you can see the review for that movie on our website, tggeeks.com. It'll be published tomorrow at 6 in the morning, our time. And yeah, that world premiere will be at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood.
Wow, so you guys are going to be there like on a red carpet.
Blood red, maybe.
There you go.
Blood red, maybe, yeah.
Put your hands together for Ben and Keith, everybody from TGG